Thank you everyone for joining us for tonight's presentation. So what are we going to talk about tonight? Commercial lending. When we talk about commercial lending, the first thing that I bet, if this is the first time that you are joining us, I bet that you will, in your mind, you're thinking, oh, just another lending company, just another mortgage company. No, that is not who we are. What are we trying to do right here is not just talking about the lending industry, it's not just talking about the mortgage industry. We are here to talk about commercial lending. Now, we are not, again, just building another company for funding a deal. What we are trying to do right here is to disrupt a commercial lending industry. Now, what do I mean by disruption? What do I mean by, why do I say that we have to disrupt this? So help me to think about this. When we are talking about commercial lending, and let me show you what we are talking about. I'm not talking about just people that buying a houses, people that you're accustomed to, that a mortgage company that can do. What we are talking about right here, it's business loan that for business owners. So think about this. Help me to walk with your mind right now. How many of you in this room, you don't have to answer me, okay? You don't have to answer me, just answer to yourself. How many of you in this room right now know somebody that it's need the funding to purchase investment properties, not for property that they live in, but for investment properties? I bet a lot of us already know, and I know that a lot of us are already in the real estate industry. Perhaps you are a mortgage loan officer. Perhaps you're already in the funding business for a long period of time. And perhaps you are a real estate agent or an insurance agent, and you already have clients that are looking for funding like this. Now, what is the difference between us and a traditional loan officer? It is for us, we use commercial lending to fund investment properties. Do you know, on our side of the business, we don't even care about if they have income or not. You go to a traditional bank, you go to a traditional loan officer, when you ask them for funding to purchase an investment property, what are they looking for? They will look for your incomes, your W-2s, your tax returns, so on and so forth. But do you know, here in the commercial lending side of it, we do not care about how much money they make. And as a matter of fact, many of our clients just lend in the United States without any permit. I mean, without any citizenships. They are visitors coming into the United States. They could be a tourist, they could be here in working visa, whatever that might be. So they come to the United States, they look at an investment property, they like it, but unfortunately they cannot provide any documentations to show that they have income. How can they get a property like this? In commercial lending, we can do that. So ask yourself, do you know anybody out there like this that needs this type of funding? How about purchasing businesses, acquiring a restaurant, buying a liquor store, purchasing a gas station, buying a spa, so on and so forth? Where would client get the money? So why do I say we are disrupting this commercial lending industry? So for the longest time, we believe in this company that for the longest time, the commercial lending industry is a very, very closed door business. Meaning that, hey, even though you know clients that needs the funding, but however, you don't know where to get that funding from. Perhaps you can go to the bank, but what if the bank doesn't work? Where can you go to get funding? What we are trying to do is to show you, besides of the bank, there's so many alternative funding sources that we can tap into to help our business owners. So for example, somebody that already owns a restaurant, and all of a sudden there's an opportunity that comes up that he would like to purchase another business, or they need money for equipment. Where can they find money? This is commercial lending. So let's move forward. How about commercial properties? How many of you know people out there that owns a hotel, owns a retail, owns apartment buildings, owns office buildings? Either they are purchasing all this property or they're refinancing this property, cashing out and purchase another property, so on and so forth. Do you know right now it is the best time to purchase commercial property? Why? It's just because commercial property is on sale right now due to COVID, due to the way that we live. Many of the commercial properties losing in value. When something is losing in value, is what? It's the buyer's market. Absolutely, it's the buyer's markets. That's why we're seeing a lot of clients that used to be they're renting commercial space for their businesses, whether they are a doctor's office or they do e-commerce, whatever that might be. And now the timing is right. They are now out here to purchasing the property that they are renting right now. Instead of renting, now they want to own the property with the same dollar amount of money. So do you know anybody like that? I bet you do. This is commercial lending. Let's keep moving forward. How about equipment loans? You have a doctor's office. One of the equipment is just broke down and they need funding very, very quickly. When businesses need equipment, they cannot wait. A restaurant, all of a sudden the refrigerator it's broken. Do you think that they can wait? No, they cannot wait for 30 days, 40 days, 90 days to get that funding. We have equipment loans that can fund in as little as 5 business days to get them the funding to purchase the equipment that they need to continue on their business. Our goal right here is to provide a solution and provide the funding that our client needs to continue on for their businesses. Okay, so how about acquisition of land, purchasing land? There's so many people come to us nowadays to buying lands for constructions, buying land for acquisitions, buying land for growing crops, whatever that might be. Land is one of the loans that we can provide. So I would like you to help me to think it through with me along the way, because I want you to know a lot of these clients already around you. Before you come to this room tonight, perhaps you heard of the term commercial lending, but you don't know exactly what commercial lending it's all about. What are you guys talking about? Commercial lending sounds so mythical. What are they doing behind the scene? What exactly can they fund? This is what we can fund. All these examples that I'm showing to you, I want you to help me to start thinking around you, around your network. Perhaps you already have a book of business. Perhaps you are a real estate agent. Perhaps you are an insurance agent. Perhaps you are a CPA, that you already have a book of business. But besides of providing them an insurance policy or helping them to do taxes, do you know that many of these clients, they are already in business. They need funding, but because of that, they only know that you are a CPA. They only know that you are a mortgage loan officer. They only know that you're a real estate agent. They might not raise the questions to ask you, hey, do you know where to get funding? But however, if you can let them know that, hey, you can tap into business funding resources, you will be surprised what kind of conversation that you can spot with your client. You don't even have to look for clients. You already have existing clients that you can tap into. How about construction? There's so many constructions going on out there, regardless what the economy looks like. Builder will still have to build. And in today's market, there are many new building technologies that is coming into the market. Instead of like the traditional ways to build a house, now you have modular homes, you have tiny homes, you have all kinds of construction materials that can increase the speed of building homes. You can reduce the cost of building a home. And currently right now, we are building a hotel using modular. Can you imagine that you're using a modular using modulars to build a hotel? It is happening right now. Do you know any builders around you? Do you see any? When I say construction, not necessarily just ground up construction, that also including fix and flip, meaning that, hey, people are purchasing properties and they need fundings to renovate that building, a value add to that building, and perhaps they already have a building, they need extra funding to expand the building, so on and so forth. So construction loan, that's another type of commercial commercial funding that we can offer. How about working capitals? Again, you have a business. Now business is picking up. All of a sudden, you only have five employees, and now you need to hire an extra one. Or you need extra monies to purchase inventory. So we have working capitals to provide to our clients day in and day out. How about unique assets such as RV park, mobile homes, a lot of the things that we haven't heard of? We have funding for it. Now, besides of that, we are not just funding a commercial funding company, but we are also what I say a solution-driven company. What does it mean? It means that not only that we provide funding for our businesses, we also provide a lot of business solutions for our business owners. Have you heard of something called ERC? Have you heard of something called SETC? Those are the services that we can help businesses to get funding from the government, from tax credit from the government for free. This is not a loan now. This is the money from the government. Have you heard of something called wellness program? Do you know that right here in Sequoia Lending that we are able to help our small businesses that to get free, listen to me one more time, to get free benefits for their employee. It does not cost them a dime, does not cost the business owner a dime, does not cost the employee a dime. The benefit will be paid for by the government. And we are able to help them to enroll into a program like this every single day. So again, I can go on and on and on and on. But what I want to share with you is that what is commercial lending? For the longest time, a lot of people would just think that, well, commercial lending got to be very, very difficult. I don't even know what you're the guys talking about. But if you really think about this, just by the example that I share with you, you think about your network. How many of you already know people that needs funding like this? That is just 9 categories. I haven't even talked about cost segregation. I haven't even talked about tax appealing. I even talked about gap funding. I haven't even talking about many, many other different products that we have on our platform. So that is what commercial lending is all about. And tonight, what we want to share with you is that for the longest time, people think about commercial lending is a myth. We have no idea where to find fundings like this. But today, you have that platform. So let's talk about the traditional way. So let's say today, now I share with you that 9 different ways commercial lending is all about. And now in your mind, you already know that, yes, I have all these people that can go to get fundings. But in a traditional way, let me show you. In a traditional way, where can you get fundings like this? And I also explained to you why, for the longest time, commercial lending is one of the closest door industry. Because when people think about funding, the number one way that they can think about is what? They go to a bank. They go to banks. This is pretty logical, right? We see people in and out, day in and day out, to go to the bank to look for funding, which is true. But the reality is that the bank is the most conservative lending institution out there. If they don't understand what you're trying to do, if your profit and loss statement does not look good, if your financial does not fit into their guideline, they will kick you out. No question asked. So that is why 9 out of 10 business owners, when they walk into a bank and asking for funding, 9 out of 10 walk out empty-handed. That is true. If you want with any bankers, please talk to them. Ask them, is this true or not? I believe that we have people in this room that work for Bank of America. I see that people in this room that work for PNC. I see people in this room that works for Wells Fargo. Ask yourself, ask your banker, is this a reality? And in our line of business, that is what we see day in and day out. We see business owners that came to us just because they're not able to get funding from the traditional bank. And if they walk out empty-handed, what else can they do? Where else can they get funding to start their business? Now they go to something called angel funding. They go to their friends. They go to family members. And that is why you see so many small businesses, home businesses, in the United States of America. It's just because majority of business owners out there do not know where to get funding, and especially for minorities, for first generation American that just landed in the United States, immigrate to the United States. People like that, they're not able to go to work for corporate America. It's no way. They will all try to start up their own business. And when they start up their own business, they go to the bank shut them down. And what can they do? They will have a few people get together, and each one of them come up with 50,000, 100,000, whatever that might be. Now they open up a restaurant. And once now they start running a restaurant, and if they want to expand the restaurant, what happens? Same thing. They have to keep saving and keep saving and keep saving. And again, when they are ready to expand, they will have a few friends together and put the money together and try to expand the business that way. But how many rich uncles do you have? What if you do not have a rich aunt and rich uncle that can provide you the funding? Where can you go? The next source is called investors. How many of you watched a show called Shark Tank? I bet a lot of you already know that show. When people have a good idea, go to an investor asking for money. Nothing wrong with that. But just remember, when they give you money, they don't just give you money. They also would like to take away percentage of your company. They will give you $50,000, but they saying, hey, I need to own 25% of your company by nothing, by doing nothing. They will just give you the money, right? So again, for working for investor is good, but they also look into, do you have a good idea for me to invest in together with you? So now what if all these three does not work? Where can you find funding? And unfortunately, a lot of us, a lot of business people out there do not know commercial broker like us do exist. But the reality is that you know that we exist, but you have no idea where we are. Again, let me ask you these questions. How many of you right now in this room that know people that can fund commercial loans other than the bank? Other than the bank, all the things that I share with you. How many of you know somebody like that can fund something like this? I bet a lot of you have no idea who are these people out there funding this thing. And the reality is, majority of the business owners that are out there that get a loan are through commercial loan broker like us. So the commercial loan brokering industry, I mentioned it to you one more time, is because this is a closed door industry. You don't know where they are. And let me share with you another example. You go to any advertisement platform. It could be newspaper, radios, videos, internet, Facebook, YouTube, whatever you see. You see pages after pages after pages of people advertising their business. But when is the last time you saw somebody saying that, hey, I'm a commercial loan broker that I can give you all this funding? When do you see that? You don't. You do not see that. And that is why, again, I say that this is a closed door industry. And our goal tonight is to share with you there is a platform out there. You already have your network. You already have people that needs funding like this. You don't have to go to the bank. You don't have to search around. You can come to us, because for the longest time, majority of the commercial broker like that, it's a it's an old traditional way to do business. But today we are going to open it up. We are not going to use an old traditional way, just like a traditional brokerage like this. We are going to open up the door, allow you and I, without any experience, to come onto this platform. Because even though you know who the commercial broker is, you knock on their door and you get in front of them, and the first thing that they ask you is that, what kind of experience do you have? And if you don't have any experience, they don't even want you to come into their company. And all they can do is that, yes, send me the deal, refer me the deal, I close that for you, and after that, I give you a $25 Amazon gift card. But that is not what you want, and that is not what we want. So that is why we open up this door for everyone. So let's talk about how big this opportunity is. So for commercial lending, it's a $10 billion business in 2021. There are so many businesses is registering every single day. So it does not matter where you go. You see businesses. If you pay attention to it, you walk down the street, you see all these pizza places, all these restaurants, all these retail shop, grocery shop, doctor's office, CPA firm, whatever that might be. Every single one of those are businesses. And they all have one thing in common. It's about they all need money. It's not about if they need money or not. It's a question of when do they need money? How much money do they need? And how fast do they need the money? So hopefully I can share with you, I already shared with you, what are we looking at out there in the market today? And bank is not funding these days because of the market for the last few years due to COVID, due to whatever that might be. Most of the bank actually are tightening up their funding guidelines. Many clients that you used to be able to go to the bank and get funding for it, today they're not able to do it. They all have to come to what we call an alternative funding, which is us. An alternative funding, we are totally different than the bank. We do not look at a lot of we do not underwrite a deal just like what the bank does. We are underwriting the deal totally differently. And in the commercial side, in the alternative funding side, the lender is willing to work together with the clients to expand that envelope. So now many of you are saying they're fine. It all sounds good. But I never been in this business. I don't know how to do this. Can I really do this or not? Let me share with you. I'm going to share with you the secret of commercial lending. And I just mentioned it to you earlier today that, hey, when you go to any advertisement platform, you do not see us. Not only that, you don't see Alan Wu, you do not see Mo Cannon, you do not see any other commercial loan brokers on the advertisement platform. Have you ever thought about that? Why is it like this? Let me show you why. It's because in our industry, we do not look for clients. Regardless what you do, it could be a realtor, you could be a loan officer, you could be an insurance agent, you could be a doctor, you could be a CPA, you could be a lawyer. I don't care what you do. All those businesses out there have one thing in common is what? They all look for what? They all look for clients. Why? It's because I believe all those industry has already been disrupted. So for example, today you get up in the morning, you're saying, hey, I want to become a real estate agent. Is it easy to become a real estate agent? Absolutely. Not difficult at all. All you have to do is just to go to take a license. After you pass the exam, you know, there's so many ways for you to take that exam, so many ways for you to partner up with a local real estate broker. And now you become a real estate agent. And once you become a real estate agent, what? You know, this number is actually getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So the client is just that many. The pie is getting smaller. And that is why all this industry, they are all out there fighting for client. And now what is the problem when you're fighting for clients? You're facing a lot of competitions. That's number one. Number two, that client might not come back to you for the second round. When you sell him a house, when you sell him a policy, that's great. But most likely, the next house around, probably he himself already become an agent himself. He doesn't need you anymore. Probably himself, he looked for another client or another agent that charge him a little less fees. But that is what the traditional business is all about. Looking for B2C, looking for clients. But in our business, we do not look for clients. But who do we look for? We look for professionals who has clients. So that is why we are in a B2B business. Okay, we are not in a B2C business. So who are these people? Let me show you. First of all, we can do this thing in all 50 states. There are 1.2 million real estate insurance agents, 1.2 million insurance agents in the United States. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I bet a lot of those insurance agents, a lot of those policies that they wrote, many of their clients are already business owners. And many of their clients actually in need for fundings. But they just never tell the insurance agent. Why? Because in the client's eyes, you are just an insurance agent. But what if now you tap into the commercial lending space? What if after you wrote them a policy, you add something to saying, hey, Mr. Client, by the way, I also provide business funding. And I know that you are a restaurant owner. We just wrote a policy for partnership policy, whatever that might be. Do you need funding for your business? And guess what? Now it's spark another. It's very normal for you to get into your client and start a conversation with your client in commercial lending because the industry that you're already in. Same thing. There's over 330,000 loan officers in the United States. And majority of these loan officers, they only focusing on primary residence. They only able to fund clients when they come in to purchase a primary residence. But once they get involved with all those different type of product that I share with you, I bet you 99% of the time they are out there, they have no idea how to do that kind of loan. How about you partner up with this loan officer, let them know that, hey, Mr. Loan Officer, for the deals that you cannot close, how about we work together? Any deals that you cannot close, give me a chance. Let me help you to close it. We do not look at personal tax returns. We do not care about if they have citizenship or not. as long as they have the down payment, as long as the project makes sense, I should be able to help you to get the funding for them. There are 330,000 of them in the United States. How about 1.3 million real estate agents across the country? 1.3 million of them. And I also bet you many of these real estate agents already have clients that are out there not only just purchasing a primary residence, but they're out there purchasing for investment property. They are buying apartment buildings. They're purchasing senior homes. They're purchasing gas stations. They're purchasing retails, office buildings, so on and so forth. Now you can help them out. How about CPAs? We partner up with so many CPAs because, again, there are over 600,000, close to 700,000 CPA in the country right now. And every single one of them, they know their client very well. But they are so busy doing the tax, they're not able to help their clients to find the funding that they need. So how about you partner up with all these 3.5 million professionals here in the United States? This is just the only four professionals that I mentioned. Real estate agent, loan officers, insurance agents, CPAs. They are out there every single day marketing their product, marketing their services, and they have a book of business that they're already sitting on, but yet they do not know how to help their clients to get the funding that they need. Now, all of a sudden, you showed up, and guess what? Do you think that they will listen to you? If you do not believe me, how about do a test tonight? After the presentation tonight, call all your CPA friends, realtor friends, whoever they might be. Let them know that now you are in the commercial lending business and you have fundings for all type of businesses as long as the business makes sense. And you want to partner up with them and see what their reaction is. And guess what? I'll give you another very, very exciting news. And that is also a myth to a lot of people. In commercial lending, every time when you talk about thinking about lendings, real estate, and all these things, people automatically would think that, oh, man, now you're telling me that I need to get another license. I don't have time to go through this. It's very, very difficult. Ladies and gentlemen, the good news is that in our line of business, there's no licensing needed. And let me say it one more time. There's no licensing needed in commercial lending. And if you don't believe me, it's totally up to you. But we have been in this business for a long time. There's no such thing as commercial lending license out there. There's MLS license, National Mortgage license. That is for primary residence. But for commercial, there's no licensing needed. And that opened up an entire country for you to do business. Imagine today you are real estate agents that in Los Angeles area, and now all of a sudden you have somebody that in New York. Can you do that business? Can you serve that client in New York? Most likely you cannot. Perhaps you can refer to someone else and get a referral fee out of it that might be able to do that, but you're not able to serve that client in other states. But here in commercial lending, because there's no licensing needed, and most of our work are actually in front of a computer. We don't even need to go out there to see a client. We don't need to show houses. We don't need to meet up with the client, none of those things. And majority of the time that you spend with your client is online on a Zoom like this. And all of a sudden open up a lot of doors for you. So think about this. Do you know anyone that in Chicago that needs a loan? Do you have any friends that down in Florida that might need fundings like this? Do you have any business partner that in Texas that might need fundings? Again, all of a sudden, our opportunity is much, much, much more. So now this is what we are able to do. Now you ask me, so how can we do something like this? I mean, is it difficult to do? So let me share with you our platform. When I say I want to disrupt, we need to disrupt this industry. We have to come up with something that is simple. It's very straightforward for us to follow. One thing when we build this company is that we keep the simplicity in mind. We understand one thing. Nobody will have time to go out there to learn a new industry. Ask yourself, if you want to become good, to become a mortgage loan officer today, assuming that you don't know anything, today you want to become a loan officer. How long does it take you to really to see some good income? I would say at least a year. You need to work this thing like a full-time, like a business, not a part-time. You have to work like a whole year because now you need to get licensed. You need to understand all different products. You need to partner with a broker. You need to understand the process, so on and so forth, before you see the first paycheck. And now, of course, you need to go out there to compete with all the other loan officers for that particular client right there. So again, it would take you a long time. And that's why right here, I show you that there are over 300 some thousand loan officers. Majority of those loan officers are, guess what? They're all part-timers. They're all part-timers. In our platform, we keep that in mind. Nobody have the time to wait for a year to see their paycheck. Nobody even have time to wait 6 months to see their paycheck. Nobody even have time to wait 30 days to see their paycheck. And that is why we built what we call an Uber platform. We all know what Uber is. Uber does not teach you how to drive. Uber does not teach you how to buy insurance, how to get a car, none of those things. Uber just built a platform so that they put a passenger into that empty seat that that car has. And boom, all of a sudden, everybody make money. Everybody's happy. And that is what we are trying to build. So what we're trying to do right here is the number one. What we need you to do is that you do not need to learn how to become a commercial loan officer. You don't even need to learn how to spell the word commercial lending, as long as you follow our process. Number one, all you need to do, obviously, you need to become our affiliate. Join our company. Talk to the person who invited you here. And that is the first thing that you need to do. Once you join us, then you have access to all of our training. We have training every Tuesday night for Spanish. We have training every Wednesday night for the company in English. We have training every Thursday night for Chinese. We have a group talk every Friday night in English. And we also have training like this every Monday night. So again, we have training every single day. And we post all of our training online so that you can learn as much as you can about commercial lending. So that's the first thing that you need to do is just to plug in with us. You can plug in with us on our Facebook, on our YouTube, on the Instagram, whatever that might be. Watch what we do. Okay, watch what we do. So number two, once you partner up with us, we have a very, very simple platform. It's what we call the scenario platform, where we have many different types of scenario. It could be 1 to 4 unit, could be fix and flip, could be multifamily, could be working capital, whatever that might be. All you need to do is to identify the clients that needs a particular type of loans. All you needed to do is just to submit the proper scenario form for us. And once we receive that scenario form, we have a team of advisors behind the scene that will evaluate every single scenario that you send in. And once we evaluate it, we will provide a solution for you. If you do not want to talk to your client, no problem. We have advisors right here that can talk to your client directly, to sell the deal to your clients directly, to walk through the deal with your clients directly. Okay, all you have to do is just to learn how to use our online platform. That's it. Just submit the scenario. And once they submit it in, once we provide the solution, once we provide a term sheet, whatever you call, now we start the processing. And all you have to do is just to help us to collect documentations. You do not need to go to talk to the lender. You don't need to structure the loan. You do not need to talk to the title company, none of those things. All you have to do is just to help us to collect documentation from your client. You physically don't even need to collect documentation. All you have to do is just to remind your clients that, hey, our team is asking for your documentation. So ladies and gentlemen, what we're building up right here is a platform that you and our advisor work together to close a deal. Okay, we have over 500 different funding sources. Whether you need a $10,000 working capital loan, or a $1 million fix and flip loans, or a $5 million construction loans, or all the way up to $200 million a purchase for a hotel loan, whatever that might be, as long as the project makes sense, we most likely will have the solution provided to our client. And that is the power of our platform right here. So after that, all you get to do is to help us to get the documentations. We have a specialized processing team. We have a professional a support team to walk through all of these deals for you. And many of us in this room right here already experienced the process of our platform. And now we are ready to go out there to let as many people know about this as possible. So think about how many agents that you know. Think about how many real estate agents that you know. I just shared with you, all those people add together, there are 3.5 million professionals out there. And what if you just partner up with 1% of them? That is already ridiculous. 1% of 3.5 million is what? It's 3,500. I don't need that. How about you just partner up with 0.1% of them? That is 350 agents constantly referring you deal. And if you partner up with 350 agents, each one of them give you one deal a year, you have 350 deals a year. That is crazy. What if you just partner up with 0.01%, which is 35 people? That's more realistic. So you think about the possibility, what you are getting yourself into. And quite frankly, and again, right here, we do not want you to become a professional in commercial. You need to be professional, but we don't want you to become what we call a processor in commercial lending. Okay. So again, that is how our company works. And please talk to the person who invited you here. He or she will show you what our platform really looks like. So in commercial lending, just like in any other businesses, it does make money based on commissions. We are not a W2 company. We are a commission-based company. So there are many different ways for you to generate income in this company. And most importantly is that we set up referral commissions. What is referral commissions? Right here, if you do not want to do anything, just throw us a deal. You make 23% of what we make. So for example, let's say $1 million deal. We charge 1 point on $1 million deal. That is $10,000 commission. You just refer us a deal. You don't do anything. You don't collect documentation. You don't talk to your client. From that point on, you will make 23% of that $10,000, which is $2,300. What if you're saying, okay, fine, let me get involved. I want to become, I want to get involved. I want to help out. I want to, do more work. You then make a personal commission, which is 46%, 46% personal commission. On top of it, we also allow you to become a mentor, meaning that when you become good at what you do, you can close deals, and other advisors in the company would like you to help them out. Now you become a mentor in the company. You can definitely make mentor commissions. And also we will allow you to make team revenues, meaning that, hey, we don't, I'm sure once you start talking to people out there, you will run into people saying that, hey, Alan, how about what if I want to do this thing also? How can I do this? I don't want to give you my deal. I'm a real estate agent. I have a lot of deals already. I don't want to partner with you. I want to do this thing myself. How can we do that? Absolutely. Now you can bring them into your organization, into your team, and whatever they do, you will get override from it. Just like Keller Williams, just like eXp Realty. Many companies out there already employ this kind of system to benefit their agents. So you can do that here in Sequoia in commercial lending. And remember, no licensing is needed. And of course, we also have bonus pool, meaning that, hey, for every deal that we close, we reserve something on the bonus pool, and we utilize the bonus pool for company trips, for company promotions, so on and so forth. So now you ask this, hopefully by this time, you understand that, hey, we are talking about a business just like Keller Williams, just like real estate, just like loan officers, things like this. How much it costs you to become a real estate agent? How much it costs you to become an insurance agent or a loan officer? At least a few $1,000s. Why? Because you do need to take classes. You do need to take their exams. You do need to park your license with a broker, so on and so forth. So it costs you a few $1,000s to become an agent like that. So how much it costs you to become a commercial loan consultant? It costs you $20, $29.90, $30. The $30 is for you to get access to your own website. You will have your own websites to promote to your client. You will have access to training like this. You will have access to one-on-one with our coaches. You will have access to all the lenders that you otherwise wouldn't have access to. But the most important thing is that for this $29.99, we do not want it. That is for everybody to have skin in the game. When you close your deal, every time when you close a deal, whatever membership fee that you paid previously, we will reimburse back to you. So basically means that it costs you $0 to come into this platform as long as you work. So now let's wrap up. What are we trying to do right here? This is not a new industry. Commercial lending is not a new industry. It's one of the oldest industry out there. But this industry for the longest time is a closed door industry. And what we're trying to do right here is to open it up. We want as many people to come in as possible to benefit from this thing as much as possible, just like real estate agents. I still remember many years ago, in order for you to become a real estate agent, you have to have a special educations or licensing in order for you to get it. But today, that industry is disrupted. Everybody can get into it. But commercial lending, I believe, is the last industry that's yet waiting for somebody to disrupt this industry. And that is what we committed to do right here. So again, this industry will affect across the board. Realtors, insurance agents, loan officers, CPAs, so on and so forth. So especially for
McFarland, never seen it. It was a Kevin Costner movie.
Especially for minorities. Many minorities do not know opportunity like this exists. It's lack of information. It's the lack of information that we are trying to disrupt. And with our platform, we believe that we can help so many businesses owner out there, not only just getting the funding that they need, but also getting the service, also getting the solutions that they need in order for them to expand their business. And we are not here we're not just interested to fund just one deal or two deals. We are talking to our client. We want to grow together with them because, again, regardless where they are in their business, it could be a startup, could be a 2-year business, could be a 5-year business, could be a 10-year business. They all need funding. And we would love to grow together with all these businesses. So what about you? We are committed to talk to our community, city after city after city. From this point on, every Monday night, we will have presentations like this. If this is something good for you, please talk to the person who invited you here. You want to learn more about us? Come to our training Tuesday night for Spanish, Wednesday and Friday night for English, and Chinese on Thursday night. Plug into us on our Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, whatever that might be, and see if we are for real or not. Go do a Google search. We are on BBB's Best Business Bureaus. Check us out. We are also the financial coach for a nonprofit organization called National ACE, which belongs to an MBDA, a minority business development agencies. Again, that is who we are. So we strongly need you to come into our organization. We need your help. Otherwise, we would not be able to disrupt that business, disrupt that area in your area. So again, where do you go from here? Sign up with us. Talk to the person who invited you here. If you want to talk to me, they will give you my personal contact information to contact me. If you want to talk to Mo, you want to talk to any of our loan officers or any of our loan advisors in the company, we are all open. And we actually have a virtual office every day, starting from 10 o'clock until 7 p.m. If you want to pop in, we will give you a virtual office. So feel free to come into our office and meet with us. So again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your attention for tonight to listen to what I have to share. And I truly hope Hope that you can join our company and see our vision and see where we go from here. So thank you so much.